So let's begin the conclave with an exclusive conversation on the topic Indian Real Estate Outlook 2024. Yes, we have brought down the curtains on 2023 and we are looking forward to 2024. And to set the context for this discussion, distinguished Indian real estate leaders, let me first begin by inviting the session chair. I would request Ashwinder Singh, CEO, Residential Bhartiya City Urban, to kindly come forward, who is a seasoned CEO with extensive experience in real estate, demand, supply and funding functions. I welcome you over here. And joining him would be our speakers in alphabetical order. I would like to welcome Navin, Dhanuka, the co-founder and MD CEO of ArisUnitern, real estate focused development management and strategic advisory company focused on providing one-stop solution desk across the value chain of real estate business. Welcome, Navin. I would also like to request all of you put your hands together for Pradeep, Lala, MD, CEO of MSC Services Private Limited, one of the largest property and facilities management firms in India. I would now request Mr. Singh to kindly take over the proceedings. Please. And we wish you well. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you Reality Plus for such a great opportunity. It is always great to come to the Reality Plus event because I end up meeting all my old friends, seniors. Farooqji, congratulations on such a wonderful Pride event. Many congratulations. It is one of the really created a record with everybody in Bangalore who matters was there. So many congratulations on completing 25 years. Many congratulations Tripti, Sapna, for such a wonderful show. I've never seen, we were just discussing in the morning, you don't see so many people attending, but you know, a full house in the morning just shows how dedicated both of you are. And we were just discussing that this is definitely one of the most hardworking teams which is there. So coming back, you know, the Indian real estate market right now is going through a great time. Everybody knows about it. I have Pradeep and Navin with me, but just to set the context from a home sales perspective, India top 10 cities, top 7 cities is going to do around 5 lakh units this year, which is phenomenal. Q3 numbers, as published by my previous company Anorak, says that there is a 36% year-on-year increase on numbers, from 88,000 units to 120,000 units in Q3, which is phenomenal. New launches are 25% up. If you look at Mumbai and Pune have started contributing 50% of the total sales. Bangalore is going to do around 70,000 unit sales this year. So it is phenomenal. And if you look at whether it is warehousing, whether it is industrial, whether it is hospitality, the average tariff in CBD in Bangalore right now is around 12,000. Hospitality sector is going through a boom. Land prices are crazy right now in Bangalore. I don't know where they're going to stop. So it is a phenomenal time for Indian real estate. Let's see how things kind of continue, because somebody says it's going to be there for 10 years, somebody says it's going to be there for 5 years. I kind of suffer from an imposter syndrome, so I think, you know, it might not be as long as we think. But if we keep our processes and if really things improve in terms of the overall industry and the way India is positioned, looks like, you know, we are really going to be in for a great haul. Quickly coming, I'm going to take around 20 minutes in this session. My first question, as we are talking about 2024, how it's going to look like, is to Navin. Navin, I want to quickly move to the financial side of it, which is your passion. You made me change a lot of questions, so which is fine. What impact are alternative funding sources, especially private equity, crowdfunding, REIT, going to have on real estate funding landscape in India?
So first of all, good morning everyone, and thank you Sapna and Tripti for inviting us. Coming back to the questions, as you said, first on the outlook definitely looks very positive. If we see the price escalation itself has been close to 25% in last 1 year, has been close to 25% in last 1 year. But the way I look at it is slightly different before I go to the finance. See, if you look at it, because we are in Bangalore, if we talk about Bangalore, If you look at it pre-COVID, close to last 10 years, the price escalation was 2 to 3%, 4%, that was also very difficult. So the price increase what we have seen over last 2 years, I don't consider that as a price increase itself. It is more of a correction which was long because the price increase in the last 10 years pre-COVID was not even matching the inflation, the national inflation. So what it has done is just a natural correction to bring it to the price it should have been from the inflation point of view. What we see future in next 2 to 3 years is going to actually define how well we are going to in real estate and how the prices are actually increasing. Especially if you look at the construction costs, how they are. On the other point of the financing, especially alternate investment ways. Now, as the word itself defines, it is the new ways or creative ways of funding real estate. First of all, why is it required? It is required today because if you look at it post-RERA, post-GST and post-LFS, which a lot of us talk about COVID as a black swan, we forget 2018 LFS, which was probably one of the biggest black swan events in real estate from a funding point of view. What happened? LFS went down, which had a SO from a Japanese fund. All the credit agency was taken for a case from SEBI, and then all the NBFCs were forced to stop funding in real estate altogether. They were the people who were funding the real estate from let's say 2012 to 2018, and that was probably the 70-80% of the share of the real estate funding. They were doing the job what banks were supposed to do. Now, post that, now with the new RBI regulations, no NBFCs are almost as par with banks today. None of them are allowed to fund projects pre-approvals, which is the largest part of funding requirement in real estate. Because banks do not do it, NBFCs do not do it, where do they go to? Bangalore is a pioneer in property development. Compared to last 4-5 years, today all creative developers, including Shobha, Embassy, Prestige, all are doing property development. Where is the funding required in property development? It is definitely not required for development. That is not even probably 10 to 15% of your total project cost. The major funding is required at the land level. These are the places which need to be addressed for adequate funding into real estate. And that is where the alternate investments are coming into place. Private equities or funds are becoming more and more prominent. There are alternate platforms which are, tech-based platforms which have come. Like for example, there is fintech platforms like we have Giraffe, which is providing funding to real estate. So the need of the hour is going to be the alternate investments to provide crowdfunding to a certain extent or different kinds of more created funding to provide the adequate funding to real estate in terms of, especially in terms of land.
Thanks, Navin. Actually, that was a valid question. Who needs funding, especially on the residential side? I've been on the developer finance side for 3-4 years with Bajaj Housing, and they have been complaining that whatever they are either disbursing is getting paid up very fast or is not getting used with the way the sales are on the construction finance side. And land funding is a very risky business. I don't know how we are going to kind of evolve in terms of land funding, but that is one area if we can really work on, the industry can work on, it can be a great opportunity. Pradeep, coming to you, you are a pioneer on the property management services side. I understand you really handle a very large team with 15,000-20,000 people under you managing properties. The quality of business that you do is phenomenal from a profitability standpoint. I would like to know what is the role of technology that you think is going to come in property management services. Will it help in productivity as well as profitability, and how do you see the future?
Morning, everybody. Am I good on? Thank you, Realty Plus, for keeping a property management company in a developer forum. Thanks for recognizing us. We are part of the LOC group as LOC Services, a lesser known arm, but we do some good work in the country. 130 million square feet, manpower team of about 15,000 people across more than 14-15 states in the country today. So from that perspective, this entire team and scale and diversity in geography cannot be harnessed and improved to a level of efficiency without technology. Because technology today is enabling us to provide cost savings and predictive maintenance and ensuring 100% uptime to the best possible level. So what we've done from our experience of being a developer-owned organization, we have a larger experience than the other property services company because we are always in every level of development right from construction onwards. And beyond that, we also continue to inherit and handhold all these buildings. Besides that, we do different genres in the country about besides residential, commercial space, co-living. All these need to be enabled with the help of technology. So, from all our learnings over the years, we, rather than going and picking up something from off the shelf, we curated a complete set of technology tools which help us deliver efficiency to our clients. There, I would break them into two categories. One are the software tools, technology tools, and one are the hard ones. The software ones are simple ones which you can pick up off the shelf, like visitor management, background verification, attendance tools. I mean, these kind of like space management, enabling people to book spaces. We have a lot of campuses where we have spotting facilities, so booking spotting time, etc. What's more important is we have understood that facility management or property services is looked more as a cost center to any corporate, and to always bring in efficiency and in any way or every way reduce cost is very important for us. So we have a set of technology tools which are more from a hard services perspective, in sense digital logbooks where we have we've done away with paper. But one important aspect I would say is IoT-based sensors and smart metering, wherein we track all the engineering assets, because the largest guzzlers for cost in our buildings is mainly HVAC. So from that perspective, what we do is we have these IoT sensors tracked into all these chillers that we use countrywide. We have a real-time data management system, and from this, not only do we lead to a position of predictive maintenance rather than preventive, so we have maximum uptime. Furthermore, what's important is we ensure that we understand how spaces are occupied, and when the load is not as high as it could be, we monitor and control temperatures and the chillers in such a way that brings up the efficiency level and brings down the cost. I mean, there's a lot I can talk about, but from a perspective, what we're doing honestly is using technology to bring a user and a customer experience from a cost perspective and a wellness perspective and a comfort perspective.
That's really insightful, Pradeep. Now, I have a common question for both of you, as that is the theme, and then we kind of get into the day, and that is what I think the audience would also be interested in knowing. Navin, coming to you from a finance background, funding background, dealing with a lot of developers, how do you see real estate kind of trending in 2024? And what do you think? We all know what the opportunities are because everybody is talking about it. I would like to know, what do you think are the challenges that the industry might face in the coming years, especially 2024, if there are any? And maybe what are the hindrances that you see from a funding standpoint, etc. If you can quickly wrap up this conversation for us.
So we all think 2024 is going to be a great year. I think everything looks set for that. However, there are always going to be certain challenges. There are going to be event risk. There is an election coming up in 2024. And if let us all agree that we are a blip today in the world in terms of being positive. Otherwise, the entire world is not doing so great. We have more than a year of war going on between Ukraine and Russia. There's Hamas and Gaza going on. We don't know when the after effects. There are last 2 weeks, if someone has followed, there have been issues now. China provoking Bhutan. There have been water cannons between China and Philippines. So if you look around us and just not have a mapping view looking inside the country, then we have a lot going around in the globe. You never know what and when what can come and impact us on that. The good positive news has been now this time the Fed has not increased the rate. In fact, there have been signals of it going down. That may have a positive impact in our entire business. But at the same time, we cannot completely ignore the global economy and what's happening around us. In terms of other parts of the real estate, we need to still look at that. We cannot have a complete euphoria. That is where, as Ashwinder was saying, the land prices have been going off the roof. There are hardly any good quality lands available. That is where, in the state of euphoria, that is where most of the mistakes have happened. We have seen, the Chandrababu Naidu's dream of doing that, how it went up to 10 times and went down 8 to 9 times. So we have to be very careful. Bangalore has been one of the most matured markets in the country. Unlike, let's say, our neighbors of Hyderabad, we have not seen such kind of a volatility. And I think we need to maintain that. We need to, if you are buying lands today at some crazy rates, not thinking that the prices will again go up by 25-30%. Why and why for next 3 to 4 years, we need to maybe control that. Need to control our kind of developments, our new launches, which is still close to 25%. But at the same time, if you look at it, the total vacancy in residential, if I say, have come down from 2.5 years to 2.3 years, which is a good sign. That the absorption is still higher than the number of launches what is happening. We need to ensure that is still continuing. Otherwise, again, we will be in a stage of, we are going too much into again larger units, which was not the season pre-COVID. Again, we are now starting with only 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, high prices. We need to be careful on that. So I think real estate, as we say, it's a roti, kapda and makan. It's a very basic industry. So we just need to stick to the basics. So the time when we move away from basics is the time we make the mistakes and the problem starts happening. We stick to basics, we'll be good. The economy is doing very, very well. We will, if we continue and follow the wave of the economy, we will do very, very well. On the financing side, I think the government has to come with certain policies. We still don't have title insurance. We talk about everything else, but we still don't have title insurance. Digitization of the properties is still taking a very, very long time. The biggest problem, see, we talk about RERA and controlling the developers. Who is the biggest partner of a developer when we bring the project? It's the government. A lot of time the project starts and gets stalled in between. Anyone can get a stop notice at any point of time during the project. Anytime the title issues can come. We need to create a more transparent, more digital, bring the technology in a place where once the project is approved and there need to be a single window for that. The efficiency needs to be brought in the approvals. The efficiency needs to be brought once the approvals are there, then the project has to continue in a certain way. You cannot have stoppages from the government, from litigations to stop the project. That has to be checked before. Once those is done, I think we'll save very well, not only 2024, but all the years going ahead.
Thank you, Navin. Very well articulated. I think short range is definitely in control. The long range is the challenge. And if you look at data, as I said, sales is growing at 36%, new launches are growing at 25%. So overall, this looks like a robust thing where sales are more than the launches. However, there's a lot to be done at a fundamental level. There's a lot to be done at the ease of doing business, so on and so forth. Very well articulated. The same question to you, Pradeep, in terms of how do you see the real estate market as a veteran in 24 and the coming times, and what are some of the challenges that you see, and how do you perceive, and how would you like to wrap it up?
So I'd rather speak from my industry, which is an enabler to the real estate segment, which is property services. I mean, as there is a huge surge in real estate developers, offtake and the offtake in the segment, obviously our business also grows. But over the years that I've observed that with so much of different real estate asset classes which we cater to, whether it's commercial office, whether it's co-working spaces, the scope is different, and at the same time the expectations are extremely different. I mean, so our responsibility as service providers has, I would say, doubled or tripled in terms of providing different types of services. I can talk about a few of them. Let's talk about co-working. Everyone understands commercial office very well. Everyone understands residential to some extent, but co-working spaces has brought in a different level of expectations from terms of hygiene, from a term of youngsters moving into these more startups working over here. And we are working with WeWork today across India, and we are the service providers for property services. They are a pet-friendly organization. So these are different challenges that come up for our janitors, our tech staff who work there. Let's talk about residential. I mean, we are managing about 4,000-5,000 apartments across the country today, and every residence for anyone has got 4 different sets of clients in one house. One is the elders, which are seniors. One is the middle-aged family, the parents, and one are youngsters, and there could be toddlers. Now we have to cater to a different segment over here. So that itself is curating things like, let's say, the play games, the games area that we have are more differently curated. There's more safety aspect over there for people walking around or elder people walking around. So these are all expectations which are changing. Let's talk about airports. We do airports, and we do the air side of the airport, which is the critical area, and we're managing the borders of the runway. Now that itself brings in an enhanced level of expectation from safety. I mean, when you're doing all the borders of the runway, you have to have the best level of cleaning services to be provided and monitored regularly. We also have a service which we curated for for most of our clients, but it's used very selectively, is Waze. It's called World at Your Service. So we identified in Bangalore there is a large community of expats who, some of them don't like to have, servants or house help living with them. So in our communities, we've curated the service, and it's individually customized to each one's requirements. So let's say someone has a villa which is 5 or 6 bedrooms, and it's only a couple living there. So all the bedrooms are not being used. Living room is used sparingly because both of them are working. So we get in with our team, maybe on a daily basis, maybe thrice weekly, and we take that window of time. So they don't want extra intrusion. So we take that window of time, maybe only a 1 hour or a 2 hour service on a regular basis, and we come in, come out, give them the right services of cleaning, ensuring that all their AMCs for their home equipments are taken care of at every given time. And then once in a week, we take a larger window of 4-5 hours and do a larger deep cleaning or a home cleaning for the entire home, which actually has been very successful and well accepted. So we are learning as times go, and we are, the followers of the developers, and try to provide whatever best seamless service we can.
No, this is interesting. I think we had a great perspective on the property management services side and how things are moving on this side, and so much of innovation that is happening, I'm sure, both to survive and increase the profitability. Great panel, because we had Navin from the financing side, Pradeep from the property management services side. I represent a development company. Overall, some of the aspects that Navin touched upon is that price increase is not an increase but a correction. I kind of am getting a little worried that if this price increase is a correction, then what will happen if the price increases, and how are people going to afford homes? But when you look at NCR and you look at some of the prices and apartments selling for 100 crores and all, anything is possible, but then anything is possible. What is possible in NCR actually is not reflective of the country. But this is for the first time that Hyderabad has shown a capital value increase of 20%, and number 2 is Bangalore. So the southern states are actually kind of leading the way in terms of capital appreciation. Let's see what lot of fundamental aspects discussed with Navin on making real estate far more stronger, becoming an industry, so on and so forth. So the very interesting things that you discussed, especially the use of IoT in chillers, etc. So overall, a great conversation. I thank both of you for your time and in-depth answers, and I'm sure the audience would have benefited from it. And in the interest of time, so that we kind of have a very productive day, I conclude this session here, and I wish Reality Plus all the best, and I wish everybody having a great, insightful day, understanding real estate with all the thought leaders and seniors from the Indian real estate. Many of them who are my friends around, I'm sure would be eager to listen to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. I love those inputs on the fact, the numbers that you put for Bangalore, for Mumbai, for Pune, and say that we are doing well. We don't know how much Bangalore is going to stop at. And I also love the inputs on those customized villas that you're creating. You just create 4 walls and give it to me, and I'm going to be very happy. I'll do everything inside on my own. and then maybe someday I get the servants to work for me as well. But can we give it out to all of them, please? Fantastic. I'm going to request Sapna to kindly come forward and to present a token of gratitude to our esteemed stalwarts. Let me not put it as guests because you're all stalwarts and a part of our real estate family, right? Someday, when I don't have a house to live, I'm going to come to you. Yeah? Let's give it out to them, please. Thank you. Sapna, thank you. Okay, Tripti is doing the honors. Yeah, Tripti, thank you, Tripti. Can you all clap? Can you all give it out to them? The morning couldn't have started in a much better way than the way they have set the tone for the day. And more importantly, they are on time. There's more to say thank you for respecting everyone's time as well. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, real estate becoming an industry. And I thought it was already a booming industry, right? See the difference between the mature and the established. Thank you, thank you. Our photo in our here. All of you together, please. Yeah. And the applause. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.